Welcome back. Every soldier remembers their basic training drill sergeant. I mean, usually they're pretty hard to forget. It's an awesome responsibility turning everyday citizens into finely tuned warriors. Each year, the top drill sergeants from across the Army compete for the titles Active and Reserve Component Drill Sergeants of the Year. John Harlow reports on this year's competition.
After a week of mental and physical challenges, Sergeant First Class Duffin Romani of Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and Staff Sergeant Stephen Mullaby of the 104th Division were named the Active Duty and Reserve Component Drill Sergeants of the Year. The competition tested the best drill sergeants in the Army and their knowledge of how well they instruct and also how well they perform the warrior tasks and battle drills. Sergeant First Class Steve Howd was the 2006 Reserve Component Drill Sergeant of the Year, and along with the 2006 Active Component Drill Sergeant of the Year, Sergeant First Class Mike Benkendorf, they organized this year's competition.
We used the components of last year's competition to build off of to construct this year's competition. We saw those things in the AAR comments that we thought we would like to improve, and we tried to improve on those. We also took our own personal pet peeves that we have with things that are going on in the Army and introduced those as things that we thought were important for the soldiers to know throughout this competition.
The duty of a drill sergeant is one of the most demanding in the Army.
The way I see that competition is almost as a celebration of the Army drill sergeant. It makes the whole Army stop and focus on how critically important he is to what we do.
During the week, the drill sergeants completed the PT test, performed blocks of instruction, land navigation, qualified with the M16A2 rifle, all while dealing with the heat and humidity of the Virginia summer.
We got to the land nav side. It's a different environment here in Virginia. The swamps and the vegetation was really thick, so even though I trained a lot for land nav, it was quite a challenge to go to that land nav course. Some points were real close to you, but you had to go all across the swamp, so it would take an extra couple Ks to walk around it. So that was the biggest challenge for me during land nav.
On day 3 of the competition, the drill sergeants faced 9 different warrior tasks and battle drills spread out over a 14-mile urban terrain course at Fort Eustis, Virginia. Some of the tasks they faced included hand-to-hand combat, the Claymore Mine, and an obstacle course.
A lot of element of surprise in that particular situation, because they would give us a briefing saying that we were going to meet up to do something like check out a suspicious package, and when we would get there, it would really be a station on first aid or something along those lines. But it was good because it kept your mind as far as all the different tasks you should be expecting. You don't know what's going to be out there in the real world in combat, so you may have a mission, but that mission's going to change, from one minute to the next. So that was good, just to, be able to have different perspective. When you're going to the lane, you're thinking one thing, and then when you get there, you have to change it up.
After a tough week-long competition that included 20 events and a Drill Sergeant of the Year board with 5 Command Sergeants Major, Sergeant First Class Duffin Romani, Staff Sergeant Stephen Mullaby rose to the top and earned the title of Drill Sergeant of the Year. At Fort Monroe, Virginia, I'm John Harlow.